Hey Richie,
Hey, Luke, how's it going?
good man. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Things are easing up over here, so
Oh God,
about time.
yeah, what a mess. Boat time is right.
Yeah, I,
Yeah,
I know, I know, I know the Canada border. Like you guys are opening up as well internationally now.
I think. Yeah, one second.
No problem.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. I gotta get. I got one vaccine. I guess I gotta get another fucking thing, but I'm not sure what they're doing. You know how it is. They're gonna get all these stupid passports, but you know what, man? That's what they're gonna do. So I'm over it.
Yeah, just gotta go on with it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's all you can do, man. So yeah, man, it's been a little while anyway. What have you been up to? You said you were going down to London.
Yeah, so like when you're talking about the vaccines, there, like I got my second vaccine just before my birthday. So it was my birthday. So it was my 30th about 3 weeks ago. Yeah,
Nice.
so that was fun. Like, quite chilled, and then I went to London the week after.
Mhm.
So I was down in London. It was quite a short trip, just a few days actually.
Mhm.
Uh, so like when I go the short trips, I can like I don't have to budget as much and stuff like that. So London's getting busy again.
Oh, I bet.
Like it's back up to around 80%. So the only thing missing is the foreign travellers. There's some of them, but not to the numbers that normally. But yeah, it was fun.
Mm.
I went a day trip as well to one of the. It's a place called Brighton.
Mhm.
So that's about an hour outside of London.
Mhm.
So that was fun. Yeah, it was good fun.
Awesome, man. Okay.
What about yourself?
I've been just here, still in the city, just going out. Like people are out again, like just going on the
Yeah,
waterfront, man. There's lots of people out on the waterfront. They opened up like some of the provinces, like some of the provinces beside us are open, so people have been coming from there and stuff. So yeah, it has.
yeah,
It's been a lot better than what it was for sure, for sure. Which is good, and like so, I'm happy about that. It's good just to get out, and like everybody's just happy to get out. I think so. It's cool, man.
yeah. Well, that's the same here because that's been 3 weeks now. But the problem that we've got is the cases have been going way up again.
I don't even fucking pay
So
attention. I don't care. I just want this stupid thing to be over. So whatever. I don't. I just ignore it now. Like I don't even bring it up. Like it's just one of those things. It's like politics or something. Like I don't. If some girl starts or someone starts talking about, it, it's like I don't want to talk. Like I don't care. Like let's just move on with it. Like
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's getting a bit boring now because
oh yeah, yeah.
that's
It's
been
just
almost two
it's just
years.
like you just like yeah. Let's just
Yeah,
you just put the stupid mask on. Just carry on. Like whatever. It's I'm over it. So yeah, man. So other than that, dude, do you want to do some? Because we got a couple questions. We're gonna make it a little bit of a short one today, but that's all right. We'll
yeah. Let's go on with
a
it.
little
Yeah,
bit of a
because I've got a couple of topics in mind.
couple
Yeah,
topics. Yep. So I the first one here is I guess for both of us. Yep. So like, what type of relationships do you like to carry on or have?
yeah,
And then part two of that is like, what type of girls do you like to meet or are you lucky to meet? So why don't you go first? Like, what type of like relationships do you like to carry on with?
yeah. So it depends because it depends on if it's going to be a girlfriend, if it's going to be just someone that you're seeing, or if it's just going to be a one night stand.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, if you're basing it off of those relationships, then it really does vary
Mm-hmm.
because the higher up, like so, girlfriend at the top, then going down, the more questions I'll be asking,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the more rules I have as well. So I'll
Mm-hmm.
give you an example of what I mean. So like, let's say that I'm just meeting a girl. It's just a casual thing. We meet up maybe once a month or something. I don't really have high expectations for that girl.
Mm-hmm.
Like as long as she's not, as long as she's got some degree of chat to her, I can buy that. Like so that's the difference between a girl that I'll see and a girl that's just a one night thing. Because normally you find the girls that are a one night thing are a lot younger now.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
this doesn't happen that frequently because I don't go out at night that much,
Mm-hmm.
not as much as I used to. But what I'm finding now is that when I do go out at night, it's a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
Like so, I don't get as many results at night, but that's only because I don't go out as much at night now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But when I do go out, the results are better.
Mm-hmm.
Like so, obviously COVID and stuff, but even
Mm.
before that, like when I was going out, so now I'm 30, but when I was going out when I was 27, 28, what I was noticing is a lot of the girls are 18 to 21. So a lot of those girls, I can't spend that much time with, just because. No, like I know it sounds silly, but it's just the truth.
Yeah.
Because like even girls mature more than guys, right? So even a
Yeah.
21-year-old might be the maturity of 23, 24,
True.
but they're not going to be like at the level I'm at.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying like I've still got a lot of maturity.
Oh
You know what I mean?
yeah.
I've got a lot to learn,
Mm-hmm.
but there's still a big gap.
Mm.
So what I find with those ones is it's just a bit of fun.
Mm-hmm.
They're more like a friend, even though they're not a friend.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
good point. That's a good point. They I find that too sometimes. They are it's like yeah, sometimes they are like more of a friend in a weird way, even though they're like way younger and you have way less in common. It's like there is a certain like polarity where it's just like it just kind of fits together. I hear you with that.
yeah. I agree because it's just kind of like I don't know how to explain it, but it's almost like I think it's just the chilled vibes that you give off,
Yeah.
just because you've put in the work and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So like because I don't go out that often at night, when I have went out, it's just very relaxed,
Mm-hmm.
and that never used to be the case. The
Mm-hmm.
case used to be like volume, volume,
Oh
volume.
yeah,
Now
no,
it's
I
just,
know.
but 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 I notice now that like I just like these 18 to 21-year-olds. Like when I was 24, you still had to put in that grind,
Oh yeah.
but I feel now it's just easier just because the way you look.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
so, like even before you start, because you look a lot older, they're more interested.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah,
And the typical yeah
when I was 24, there was no chance. Like it was so well, maybe not no chance, but it was just there was no dynamics there. Like I didn't even understand how to engage with that girl. It was just like it was I don't want to be too hard on myself, but like it was much different. Now it just seems like it makes sense in a strange way.
yeah
It's like, oh, okay, this makes sense. It makes sense that she would like me. It makes sense that we would hang out. Like, hmm
yeah. Well that's the thing because now you stand out. Well,
hmm
especially in Europe, because what I've noticed is I don't know if Canada's more like the US. I've noticed it's a bit of a varied age group when you go out at
hmm
night,
hmm
a bit more. But Europe, it's really young.
Oh,
Like
okay.
so, like if I go out to the nightclub, like there's a 50% chance I'll probably be the oldest person at the nightclub now.
hmm
Yeah,
But
very young.
I hear you though, and like I've been in that situation a lot too. But it's like, it, it's almost like that's not even that's just speaking to the lack of initiative of most
Yeah,
guys. Like that's all it is. It's just most guys just will not just don't have the initiative to go out and do something. And it's just like like it's like okay, I guess I'm the only one. That's how I look
yeah,
at it. Like I guess I'm the only one. Like and some once in a while someone will say something, but it's like they're probably just jealous. Like they're
yeah,
jealous or like it's like what like what do you so yeah, and like it's rare to meet another guy out who's actually like out there with purpose.
oh yeah,
It's
very rare.
super
Yeah,
rare. Like I can count a couple of times, like
yeah,
barely a handful of times that I've met another guy who's out like with purpose. Like, hey, I'm a cool guy. I'm out meeting people, being cool. And when you do, it's awesome. And all the girls respond to that. That's all of them respond to that guy. And that's what they want. Like you always just see dudes out drunk or on like one night out that they like once a year they all got together and went
yeah.
out. It's like that's pointless.
Oh yeah, like but no, but what I was meaning is that because I'm 30 and nobody's near my age, roughly, like maybe the odd person is, I already stand out. Like because the typical guy going out is around 18 to 21.
Hmm
But even if they're not the typical guy, 18 to 21, they'll be around 22 to 25.
hmm
So just being older and having that extra, like I've just got more presence. I feel now,
Oh
like
yeah.
so that helps. But to go back to your original question, like so that's for that scenario.
Okay.
Obviously, if I've seen them once a month and stuff, there wouldn't be much like just have you can have a decent conversation with,
Mm,
quite laid back, quite chilled.
mm.
If it goes to the next level, girlfriend and stuff like that, that's when all the rules come in. Like because that's a more serious thing.
Oh yeah.
So like no tattoos, like
Mm,
no. I'm just thinking of like, things that are like, turn offs for me. Like no tattoos, no belly button piercings, like
mm.
all the sort of things that like. And a lot of girls, like I've actually quite a few girls that have really get pissed off at that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just straight up with them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just straight up with them. Like even some of the girls I met in the past or spoke to and stuff like that, like they've maybe wanted something a bit more, but I've told them straight up that's not going to happen, just because like we're not a good match for each other in that regard.
Tattoos and
And
piercings, girl. Sorry.
yeah, but there's a few more things as well. Like we spoke about like
Yeah, yeah,
babies and stuff like
yeah,
that as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
But like yeah,
Well,
I
yeah.
mean it sounds a bit judgmental, but
Mm,
it's not because I'm not judging them because, like I say, if I'm just seeing the girl and stuff like that, she can have many tattoos if she wants. But for a relationship, I'm wanting someone that's going to be faithful, like more loyal, more relaxed, more homebound. Like not
mm,
so. What you find is what I use these sort of rules for is they're indicators
mm-hmm,
because it doesn't mean a girl with tattoos won't be less faithful.
mm,
Doesn't mean that
mm,
because she could be the most faithful person. It just means that they're more likely to be less faithful.
mm,
So why risk it?
mm, mm.
Because that's different if you're just having fun. But if you're wanting, like, especially at the age I'm at, like, and you say, like, if you're going to actually be with someone in a proper relationship, then I think you've got to have those boundaries.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. It needs to be like
yeah,
worthwhile. Like I mean, you do meet girls. Like say just over the summer, I can. There's maybe been a couple of girls, maybe three girls, four girls that I've met, where it's like
yeah,
where I felt like, oh, okay, this would actually, I would definitely, I could see myself like spending more time with this girl, or like this is the kind of girl that I like. Like this is the kind of girl
yeah,
that. It's strange to it, just kind of like it's just almost this like vibe that you get of like, oh, we it would be cool if we kept hanging out. Like it would
yeah,
be, this makes sense actually to keep hanging out, and for whatever reason they didn't. Some of them were from out of town or whatever it was, but you do get that sense, and yeah, yeah, okay, that's cool, man. All right, so that's kind of what how you break that down a little bit.
Have you got any rules then? Anything that would stop you from being in a relationship?
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I definitely there's the obvious ones like her having kids or something. Like I
Yeah,
definitely would never get involved with that. Um, and there's other ones like if I think we talked about this before. Like if she has like kind of crazy like political like beliefs or like really like I feel like extreme. She's extremely like opinionated on different like social issues that I'm just like,
yeah,
whoa, like that I'm not into that. Like that sounds fucked. Like I would just do my best to cut that off right away because I feel like it would just cause problems later, you know?
yeah,
Stuff like that. Um, yeah, these are different screening kind of like screening mechanisms I would put up, and like I guess if it were to get if I were to look into things getting even like more serious, like if she's trying to like if I see that she's trying to play some kind of games or like like really try to like undermine me in some kind of like devious way, I would try to like cut that and be like, no, no, that's again going to be a problem.
yeah,
Stuff like that is what I look for. Um, because I'm so used to now, like, all of the interactions I have are like pretty lighthearted,
yeah,
pretty like casual, pretty like it's just all for a laugh. Like I'm always have it at like a pretty like safe distance, so I'm just always like, hey,
yeah,
it's just for a laugh, whatever, it's all good. So I don't have a ton of experience really getting like more deeply involved with them. Like although like I said, I do see some that I'm like, oh, this would be cool. And generally speaking, those girls, I don't see any of those red flags in, and that's
Yeah,
what like that's why I kind of see a path towards future or to more because I don't see any of these kind of. I guess it's almost like a lack of red flags that I
yeah,
look for, if that makes sense.
yeah, yeah. That makes sense. It's like there's the boxes are getting ticked, but no boxes are getting unticked. That sort of
Mm-hmm.
thing. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, like it is a tricky one because like some of these girls like maybe don't show red flags to begin with,
I know, I know.
but then they do.
No, I know, and they're
Yeah,
so good at it, bro. They're so
yeah,
good at airbrushing themselves to look great and perfect, but you really have to like, and that's the thing, right? Like, like, but yeah, yeah, it's like a lot of those. That's just like fool's gold. Those are all. Those girls are just fool's gold. Like, or they can even be like, like a Venus flytrap. Like they can be,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, and I think I might be getting better at actually being able to perceive the high quality girls because what
yeah,
I really see is like a lack of red flags, and I'm just it just kind of like I won't say it puts my guard down, but it puts me in a position where I'm just like I can kind of screen her like more effectively almost. I kind of like can put her into a position where I'm like I can stop just like picking out like grievous errors and I'm like, oh, there's no way this would work. Like I'm just like already trying to get rid of her. Like, oh god,
yeah,
what do I see? All right, let's just get rid of her now. Like because that's a lot of times what happens there. But when I'm not spending time doing that, I'm just like,
yeah,
oh, okay. There's no like immediate threat here. There's no like immediate danger of this girl causing a bunch of problems. And then I'm just
yeah,
like, oh, okay, cool. Let's see what she's about, and that's what I like. And then
yeah,
you can genuinely get to know her a bit, and then
yeah,
you guys together. This is what I like. This is what I'm into. You guys together can kind of like see what type of overlap you have. See
yeah,
that's the position I'd say again. I must have gotten that position at least twice this summer, maybe three times this summer with girls like that, where you kind of get rid of like this like these like giant red flags where or these like crazy games to a degree and you can kind of get into this position where you both are just like oh okay let's see what type of overlap we have here, let's see what we can do together, and you can kind of like flesh it out practically. That's what I like,
yeah.
man. That's personally what I've been found myself more and more into the last little while. Yeah.
That sounds quite healthy though,
Yeah.
because
Oh yeah.
like you're taking your time with it and you're sort of getting to know her better on a
Hmm.
deeper level.
Hmm.
Yeah, without going too deep too early. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and
it,
that's why I like that period of like again, it's I heard a good quote. It's like game is something you do together.
yeah,
That's a good paradigm shift for any new guys that are watching. It's like because guys over get obsessed with like what text should I send? What's a little tactic? What's a word I should say? And it's like, dude, it's kind of more like a dance, bro. It's like
yeah,
you guys are like she wants to play too, bro. You're doing it together. Like it's called game. It's fun. And well, it's hard too, but it can be fun. We're trying to make it fun. We're trying to produce something fun. And
yeah,
so I like the idea of yeah, like kind of doing that together, and you and her together can be like, hey, cool, like, and that way no one gets. It's good for her too because no one gets like left out in the cold, and she as well can see like realistically like what you can offer her or what you guys can do together. And she a lot of the time I've had this happen a few times recently where I almost do that in too good of a way. I've had this happen a couple times where the girl
yeah,
can kind of see like, oh, okay, I see where you're at, bro. Like I see where you're at, and like, oh, that's not like really overlapping enough for me because I've just not in a chode way, but I've just been like straight with her to the point where she's like, You know, like, oh well, I can't. You know, I can't do that. I'm just like, I don't want kids, or once because
Yeah,
I'm not sure. Like, I don't want to lie to her, so I say it. But maybe there's a better way to do. Well, what do you think? Let's go open the window.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's a bit
So
hot.
this is what I think, like,
Yeah.
because I've been doing this for a lot of years now.
Yeah.
What I've found is that I'm very straight up from the beginning,
Yeah. Yeah.
but you actually lose some girls doing that,
Yeah. That's what I'm
right?
saying. That's what I'm saying.
But I don't care because there's more. No, because there's more,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
I'm saying that's me at the age I'm at now, and with years of experience. But I'm saying, see the guys that are just starting out that don't have the abundance yet.
Mm.
A lot of those guys, they'll start making compromises,
Mm-hmm.
and every guy's going to have to make some compromises in any relationship.
Fair.
Any relationship in life, you have
That's
to make
that's
compromises, right?
fair. That's fair. Yep.
For example, like when we're doing the Skype, right, we've got to suit a time that the time difference doesn't overlap too much, right? So that's just an example. So you do
That's
have
right.
to make compromises.
That's
The
right.
problem is the guys make too many compromises.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. They get over like this and over like this and over like this, and then they fall. Right.
yeah. So it's like you're saying with the kids thing, right? You don't go out, like you don't go in a relationship or you don't meet any girls that have kids, right?
Right. Oh yeah.
Right. Whereas for me, I don't mind seeing them, but I wouldn't be in a relationship with them.
Okay. Yeah. Just to
That's,
clarify, I'm not. I don't mind seeing them. I don't. I don't mind. I've
well,
a few girls I've met that have had kids. I don't mind that.
it's
I
not girlfriend.
yeah. Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Oh, all right. So you're the same as me, then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yes. So basically, what you're saying is you wouldn't get into a long-term relationship with them.
No,
Yeah.
because it's not fair.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's say another guy which is just like us, the same mindset, and that's his stance.
Mm.
But then the girl says, "No, I think we should explore going further
Oh,
and let's try it."
oh God.
And he says, "Okay, I'm going to go for it." Then he's not being true to himself.
Yeah.
Now it's different if he turns that girl away, right? It's different if he turns that girl away and he goes away to the Himalayas for 4 months, right?
Ah.
No, I'm just exaggerating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's say he goes to the Himalayas and he decides, you know what? I made a mistake. Maybe I should be more open. That's a different story because then he's realised.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, me personally, it's not. I just don't think that mindset will change for me.
Yeah.
But what I'm
No.
saying is, I'm always open for change. But that's different because anything can change in your life. Like you have a different viewpoint, but that's different because he's went away. He's took the time to realise. But if he just says in the spot, okay, we're going to be in the relationship, even though it's against his stance, it's against what he stands for, then that's out of his integrity.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like.
Yeah. And you'd be surprised that a lot of guys actually are out of integrity.
Oh,
That's
tons.
why they don't have that's why they don't have the abundance with women. And when I say abundance, I just mean abundance for myself.
Yeah.
I don't mean yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm Cristiano Ronaldo that like
No. No. No.
I'm getting
No.
all
No.
these
No.
messages
No. No. No.
flying.
No. No.
Yeah.
And abundance, as long as you're within your own integrity, abundance could just mean you meet like one girl every 2 weeks. That to you,
Yeah.
that's fine. That's abundance. You're in integrity, whatever, man. And you only get that when you stay in integrity. That's a very good point, man. Because that's the same. Like I think of one girl in particular. She was I've been seeing meeting a lot of like conservative girls lately, which I like, bro. It's the way forward, bro. I'm sorry to tell everybody. I'm sorry to tell everybody, but it's just the clear-cut way forward. But anyway, I've been meeting some of these different conservative girls, and yeah, it's super funny. Like, they're not like super probing. They're not like rude or probing with the way that they're like, well, do you want kids? When are we getting married? Like, it's not like that. They just like adhere to their own integrity, and they just sort of discover what it is that you want. And because I'm in integrity and I'm being honest, it just over the course of the daytime, it just comes out that, oh, I'm not going to get married. And like, certainly not anytime soon. Like, but I'm not getting married. I don't want to have a bunch of kids in the next couple of years. And she just discovers that. And she's just like, oh, okay. He's really cool. I like him. He's fun. I'm glad we met. but he doesn't, we're not overlapping, so I have to keep moving. And it's like, that's literally how it goes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it is funny.
yeah, it
It's
is.
funny.
It is funny, man. But it's so crazy. And then you jump in, but it's so crazy. It's literally, I've done that at least, I can just think, at least probably twice recently over this summer with cool girls, high quality girls. And I meet another one after. I meet another one
Yeah,
after because I was integritous, in whatever the fuck the word is, I had integrity. That puts me in a position, I meet the next one. If I broke that integrity with that last one, it would have messed everything up. So does that make sense?
yeah, that makes sense. And what you find with these conservative girls is they have less problems to begin with.
They do.
Yeah,
Yeah, way
yeah.
less. Way
They,
less.
they've, they've actually. I mean, I'm not talking about the real strict conservatives.
No,
I'm
no, I'm
not
not
talking
either. No,
about
I'm
10
not
out of
either.
10.
I mean,
I'm
the girl
talking
came
about the
out.
normal
They're
conservatives.
coming out,
Yeah,
right? They're not.
yeah,
All right.
yeah. They're going out. They're having fun
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
They're just more on the kind of right
yeah,
spectrum,
yeah,
the right ones. Yeah. And what you find with a lot of them is they have better conversation.
yeah,
They've got more respect for their body,
yeah.
like which and I don't mean respect as in like sexual partners and
No,
stuff
no,
like that,
no.
but that does play into it a little bit. But
True.
I mean more
They're not
like
drunk as fuck. They don't have like giant like piercings in their fucking neck or some crazy shit.
yeah, they've just got better self esteem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what you find that this is the big thing you find with those girls. You do see them as more long term, or not
You do,
necessarily
yeah.
long term, but longer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you do. It's so crazy, man. I've noticed that too. It's like it's almost just like a byproduct of them being that way. It's like you almost just it just happens in your brain naturally where you're just like, "Oh,
yeah,
okay. I can see this." It's so hilarious, man. And it's so much more like you just feel so much more like fulfilled and better even if the girl only comes out like once or twice. You still feel like, "Oh, that was productive."
yeah. And you do it because like a lot of these girls are like they put up that barrier, like they'll not come home the first night you meet them, stuff like that.
Mhm.
But like they're still engaged with that. If you know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like they still have those thoughts, but they're just more careful. They're more cautious.
Mhm.
But I quite like that because like you don't have a lot of conservative girls over here. Like
Yeah,
a
I
lot
don't
of the
think we
girls are
have
like
that
the
many
opposite.
either. Yeah.
Yeah. So like it's quite refreshing because a lot of the like society here, a lot of the girls are out, especially at night. Like they drink too much. They just like to have a good time, party away, and like they're down to come back. Yeah,
And which is cool on its own. It's just that a lot of the things that come along with that type of behavior seem to cause problems. Like a lot of their thought processes, a lot of like the attitudes they have, and a lot of the behaviors they have are just kind of like unpalatable. It's like, oh, cool if you want to come out and you're kind of really down to be cool and fun, and it's like, but what happens is when you see all like the supporting structures and like behavior
yeah,
structures and belief structures that like create that good time, it's like, oh, but I don't really like all that other stuff that much. And you're always
yeah.
it's always just
But
like that's not even worth it for me. Like,
yeah. I find that like as you're saying that like, the convert, like especially with these young girls, like the conversations don't flow as well. Um, like I mean, it's all me doing the talking mostly, like
mm,
just because like you've just got the like life experience just to deal with
mm,
situations and stuff.
mm.
Like so, like they're almost like a puppy to you.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
it's
yeah,
like I call it just like automatic cool guy. It's just me just
yeah,
like pumping out like cool guy vibes. And that's just like all
yeah,
it is. It's just like I'm just here, just Mr. Automatic Cool Guy. Here I am, just a cool guy. And it's just like after a while, it's just like I can keep that up. Like I can keep that up for like multiple hours at a time if I have to. But
yeah,
after a while, it's just like it's not as fun. And the girls like it and they love it and they'll stay. But
yeah,
it's not like as fulfilling and as fun as like an engagement with a girl who's engaging with you and you're just like, yes, I'm the cool guy, but she's engaging with me too. And it's like, oh, okay,
yeah,
now we're being cool together. I like that a lot better. Do you know what I mean? If that makes any
yeah.
sense, yeah.
I agree because like for me that is it's more fulfilling for me to go out, and I'm talking about this has happened, but it's very very rare for a night out. Like this is more during the day. This normally happens, but on a night out, it has happened once or twice at night. What you find is you end up engaging with someone, and maybe they're into like they're into their fitness really high, or they're into their meditation. Like they've got spiritual passions, they've got like this or that going on. Normally, that's not the case at night. You don't have those conversations very much. But when you do meet a girl like that that's out at night, you think, wow, because it's rare.
Mm,
And normally those girls aren't even out at night. This is like, oh,
mm,
I came out for a work night out. It was a one-off.
mm.
Like
But that's the
that
thing.
kind of vibe.
They do come out though.
Yeah,
It's not every night. It's not they're not out every night like every other girl drunk, but they do come out every so often. And that's why
yeah,
it pays to be out because you will meet that girl eventually.
yeah. And that's where it came. I mean, the nightclubs are back here. I've not been going to nightclubs, but I have been going to some bars. So, um, what I found is I'm more relaxed when I'm out because I'm not out every night now.
Hmm.
I'm maybe out once every. At the moment, it's kind of once a week, but that's
Hmm.
just because it's new. But I'll probably tail it back to every second week. I'll just go out once a night
Hmm.
because I've got a lot of things on.
Yeah,
You've
that's
seen
good,
I've got
man.
a lot of things on.
That's
Like
good.
I don't mind one night maybe sacrificing a little bit of sleep just to stay out a bit longer,
That's
but
right.
I'm not doing that like what I used to. Like
That
see
that's
because
yeah.
yeah,
That's been my big thing too. Is like I'm really focusing on trying to get a better sleep routine and get that in there. So it's like, oftentimes I'll go out for an hour or two, maybe three, and I'm like by the time it's like 10 o'clock, I'm like, all right, this is enough. Like I could. This is what I've been trying to tell myself. It's like, bro, like, yes, I could keep going. I
yeah,
would, and I could, and I'm capable of it. But it's not the right choice right now. It's like
yeah,
that's not where it's diminishing returns right now. So I have to check myself and be like, dude, the best course of action is take whatever progress you had tonight. That's enough, and we'll come back another
yeah.
night. And it's like, so that's cool though, and yeah, that's good, man. It's cool.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like going out for a couple of hours, like that's so much better than not going out at all.
Yeah.
And and the thing about it is, like, I think the stage that we're both at, that we can sort of pick and choose when to go out.
Mm.
Like, but here's the thing, like the guys starting out and stuff. I know COVID's been hit, but obviously things are getting a bit less restricted, so we don't know how it's going to go. But what I would say is, if you're able to go out, like, don't just do it once a week or that.
Yeah.
Either make a decision to go out during the day a lot and just go out at night maybe 2 or 3 times, or choose to go out at night 4 or 5. I'm talking about 4 or 5 times a week, even 7.
Oh
Just
yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah,
No, we're both on the same page with that, me and you. We're both on the same
yeah,
page. Like for a guy who's brand new and just starting out, honestly and truly, bro, it takes a period, and that's probably going to be like 4, 6, 8, 10 months, a year of
yeah,
sustained effort repeatedly multiple times a week. That's not even like two or three. That's like 5, 6, 7 nights a week.
yeah,
Fucking 10 nights a week. Who I don't care how you do it. Make it happen. It's like you need a period of that. Like if a guy went out like 5, 6, 7 nights a week for like 3, 4, 5 months, you need that. I'm sorry to say it, but like if you want to learn how this thing works, because you got to see how the cycles work, and we're both in agreement with that. Yeah.
yeah. And I'll just be honest with most guys that out of everyone that starts this, only 10% succeed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Have no
yeah,
like. Don't worry at all that there's like too many guys out there learning how to like be social and cool and learning to understand women and stuff. Like there so few guys are willing to stick with it, dude. And that's
yeah,
why like that's again why all the women are frustrated. That's why there's such a the Pareto principle. There's only a small number of guys having all the success because no guys just won't stick with it and they won't do what it takes to learn how things work because you really have to learn how it works and it takes time. And once you learn it, okay, cool, man. Now you know.
Yeah, and that's a great point you brought up. Let's stick with it because see the guys that stick with it, those are the ones that end up succeeding.
Mm-hmm.
Like in general, obviously, if the guy's really struggling, he'll have to stick with it really, really long. But I'm saying, in general, most of the guys that just stick with it and keep going, they end up getting to the finish line.
Mm.
And when you get to the finish line, it's not as if you don't like that's you all done.
No,
Like
no.
that's just you getting to the starting line.
Yeah,
Of,
well, it's just that like you have the capacity to like function now. It's like if you
yeah,
spent like 6 months a year doing that, and it's like, okay, now I can actually like function and I know how to ride a bike. It's like before that you didn't
yeah,
even know how to ride a bike, man. It's like as soon as you got on that
yeah,
thing, it crashed. It's like
yeah,
now you know how to ride a bike, so then you can go along and be like, oh, okay. And now girls will want to hop on. It's like
yeah,
finally now they'll be like, oh, I can hop on with this guy on his bike. It's fun. Da da da. And once you get that down, okay, great. Now you move on to the next challenges, which is like, okay, where am I going with this fucking bike? Like,
yeah,
where am I going? What am I doing with these girls jumping on and off the bike? Why are they like? You can start to deal with other issues, and then it's like, oh, okay, cool, fair enough. And you realize there are lots of other issues to deal with, and lots of them are important, and like, but that's okay. That's how it works, right?
yeah. Because I totally get what you're saying.
Mm.
Because like now that I'm in the 10%, right? That like I've overcame and I'm at a good capacity, as you say. But being in the 10%, there's a small selection of guys that are in the 1%.
I know. I know.
That's where you want to
Oh
be.
yeah, that's where
Like,
you gotta be, man.
but I love that I'm not there.
Yeah, still
Like just as
funny.
equally as I like because that's the motivation. Because see, just being in the 10%,
Yeah.
it doesn't motivate. It doesn't motivate me to go out at night 7 nights a week now. That demotivates me because
Mm.
it's not a challenge.
Well, because you
Like
also see the stuff that got those guys up into the 1%, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna get there by just going out 7 nights a week. Like
no,
you realize that you're like, it doesn't matter how many nights a week I go out. Once I got in that top 10% or so, it's like keep going out isn't going to move me up to the top 1%. It's like,
no,
yeah, it got me here. It got me here, and that's great, but it's not going to get me up here. And then you're just
no.
like, all right, cool. You got to move on to something. You got to start doing other shit. You can go out once in a while, and over time, that might help to bump you up a bit. But like, you realize there's other things at play, and you're like, okay, cool. Let's. And then it actually becomes like a hobby and for fun. Like when I go out now, it's like because I'm just like it's like genuinely I'm like awesome. Like 2 hours I can just go out, and it's like that's how it's so crazy. It's almost like going out for the 2 hours is like my hobby. It's like instead of playing football or playing guitar, I do that. Or it's like even
Yeah,
sometimes with the girls coming out when the girls come on a date, it's like to me that's literally like going to a movie. I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna meet this girl for the coffee. Great for an hour or two. It's like that was the entertainment. Did she come back out again? I don't know. It didn't matter. Like that was just like a
yeah.
movie. Like
I'm really the same with that because I've not been able to go out the whole COVID thing. Like during the day and at night, it's actually I'm not really going out and doing sessions anymore.
mm,
Right?
mm,
Like, but here's the thing. Because I like the coaching element and stuff like that, I will bring the sessions back.
mm.
But just currently, during the day, I'm just kind of natural going about.
I know it's so
Like,
crazy. It's like
yeah,
literally just for the sake of getting fresh air.
yeah,
It's like literally just for the sake of walking, getting fresh air, and like observing people. Half the fun is just like observing the dynamics and like breaking down the dynamics of people. And it's like, oh great, and and you just little tiny pushes. Oh hello, like, and over time, opportunities just kind of present themselves. Sometimes they'll just be
yeah,
like one or two or just three small little opportunities, and since you have a lot congruent, it's like sometimes, oh, that can turn into something. And if it doesn't, that's cool too. But it's like, it's cool.
yeah. And like during the day, like I really talk to a lot of people. Like I talk to like people that are older.
Me
People
too.
like
Yeah, me too.
it's just
It's
socializing.
just
Yeah, it's just
fun.
socializing.
It's just like,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what the oak, it's just fun. Yeah, I agree, man. Totally.
yeah. Like my mindset's totally changed the last couple of years looking
Mm-hmm.
at that because like a lot of my early 20s and even the mid 20s to some degree, like it was always about the hustle and really going hard
I know.
and really being military about it.
Oh yeah, me
Really, like,
too, man.
yeah,
Me too. I was.
but
Yeah, I hear you.
you had to do that
Yeah, you
because,
did,
like,
man.
see if I was a five, see if I was a level 5 out of 10, I would have got by without having to be military.
Mm,
I'm not saying it's optimal. I'm
mm,
just saying if I was a 5 out of 10, just bang on average, like because that's what happens. See, most guys that are average,
mm,
they don't put the work in because they don't really have to. Like
mm,
they're getting by.
mm.
That wasn't the case for me. I wasn't getting by. I was struggling.
Yeah, me too.
Now, I'm not going to say I was struggling really bad, but I was struggling.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
So I thought, right, I've got to get this shit together and stuff. Like,
mm-hmm.
so I really done it the hard way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it did pay off because it wasn't even about the girls anymore. It was
I
about
know.
the whole life
Oh
spectrum.
man,
Yeah,
that's the greatest feeling, bro. It's so that's finally the greatest feeling, man. When it's like it's not even about the girls. It like legitimately, genuinely is not. Like that's when you really it's like legitimately just about like being out, feeling the vibes, just being cool, seeing how things work. It's like you just little things that you like appreciate. You just a little tiny interaction. You're just like, oh, that was sweet. That was cool. Nothing came
yeah,
of it. Nothing went. But it's like, oh, I did that properly. Like I saw those dynamics
yeah.
properly, and like, boom. At least I executed something, and it's like, all right, sweet. Like, so I love that, man.
And then that's another thing you're saying as well. Like, just kind of, oh, it didn't come to something. Like, yeah, I can take it or leave it now. It just doesn't bother me.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and like legitimately, I almost practice that now. I almost practice that. Like, no, it's literally irrelevant. Like it's just
yeah.
irrelevant. Like sometimes I'll think like, oh, I'm supposed to meet that girl tonight. I'm like, do you think she'll end up coming? I'm like, it really doesn't matter, man. Like it's really
Yeah,
fine either way. I'm like, if she wants to come out, that's cool, man. Yeah, I'll hang out with that girl for a while. It's like if she doesn't want to come out, it's like it's absolutely fine, man. She didn't feel like it. That's great. Like I practice doing that. Like it's just is that girl gonna text me back? You know what? I, if she does, that's awesome. That's great. And if she doesn't, that's great too, man. Like she didn't want to.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. That makes it fun though, because like, see when you're just kind of going out and it's just if she turns up, she turns up. If she doesn't. Like, then you're just having a good time.
It's a good time,
Because
man.
like,
It's a good time,
yeah,
bro.
because then you can say, okay, I'm just going to go home. That's half an hour. Or you can say, you know what, I'm going to go and go to a club. Just
Yeah,
like you've got
absolutely.
options. Yeah,
And you're still in integrity. And you're just like, what? And a
yeah,
big part of it for me is I always want to feel like, well, I did my part. That's how I like
yeah.
to feel like, look, I asked the girl to come out. I told her I want to go out with her. I exchanged numbers. I set up the date. I followed through and agreed to go. That's all that I could do. You know what I mean? Got a bad connection there, I think. Um. Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry, you there? Oh yeah, I see you, man. Yeah, I got you. Can you hear me? I can hear
Hello?
you. Yeah, yeah, I got you.
Just put the back. All right.
Oh
Yeah, I
yes.
think it froze there.
Yeah, yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Went on for a minute, but yeah. I don't know what you heard there, but
I'm just turning my head. I think my headphones were sort of. Um, let me just 1 sec.
okay.
Let's try and put these back on.
Yeah, yeah.
If not, I can do it without.
All right.
They should be okay.
Yeah, the video's not on, but Mm-hmm. Hey,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, it seems okay now. Yeah.
All right, sweet.
It must have just been like the connection or something.
Yeah,
Like I don't know what end, but it might
it's
have
all
been
right.
mine.
People can fast forward through that part.
Yeah. So just to recap, we were talking about when you go out, you
Yeah.
can take it or leave it. Really.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, totally, man. Totally. I think that's great, man. That's like, that's where all the fun comes from, man. Like, it's like, yeah, it's cool. It's just, it, I think it's nice, like, just to be like that. And it kind of has to be that way, man.
Yeah. So how do guys get to that stage then?
Hmm. Oh, man, get a coach.
Yeah.
Dude, please.
I took too long to get a coach.
Oh, man.
I took 2 years.
Oh,
I took two
dude.
years to get a coach.
Dude, leave a comment below. Ask for Richie's email or mine. Even if it's just over Skype or something. Dude, you need another guy who understands this stuff to ideally take you out and show you over the course of like a couple of months, like
Yeah.
repeatedly. Ideally, that's the best way, but at the very least, you need a guy that you can keep in contact with and communicate with on a regular basis, like even if it's just once a week or every 2 weeks, for a period of like months, 6 months, a year, to keep you in line and checked on your progress to make sure that you're progressing properly and learning properly. I really do believe that it's the best option, man. It's nature, bro.
Yeah.
That's how fucking men survived and learned shit in caveman times. You were taught by the other guys and absolutely convinced. It's like it's really absurd that we have guys walking around just aimlessly without being taught. That's what I see.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And I mean, you could email me, you could email Luke, you could
Yeah.
email someone else. It doesn't
Someone
have
else
to be
doesn't
us.
have to be
Like,
us, man.
yeah,
Just get somebody, bro.
but here's the thing. Like, you might think, why would I pay for it? No, you're better paying for it because
Oh yeah.
see, like guys like us, we're not going to hang about with a two or a three for very long,
No.
right?
No.
But no, I'll always be like, say a guy wants to like meet up with me, right? And I don't know where he's at. Like, and let's say I'm not doing anything on a Saturday, I'll say yeah, I'll come in. But see when I notice where he's at, that's the last time. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But let's say he decides to pay me, and he says I want to do this for 2 weeks straight. We'll go out every day. I'm paying you such and such, right? Then I'm kind of like, okay, that's worth my time, right? But it's also worth his time because that was the point. He's see to pay someone you're paying to be with someone that's a much higher level than you, but you get to be around that person.
Yeah.
You, like, see those 2 weeks, that's going to really be a whole year of you going out without that person.
Oh
So,
yes, dude.
and then see because you know you're progressing, because that guy that's a three might get up to a four in the space of 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
They might even go up to a five,
Oh yeah.
right?
He's gonna.
If you, like, they could be really good and they could get up to a five in those 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
That's been really kind. I'm saying it's possible, yeah. But
Yeah.
then see when he tries to do it on his own. Number one, I've seen the progress of that guy. So then I will hang out with him for free because I see, okay, this guy's actually got his mind in the right place. He's trying to progress. So then maybe I'm not saying all the time, but maybe I would go out once a month or
Oh,
something.
for
like
sure.
that,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah. And then before you know it, that guy 6 months later is a seven.
Yeah.
And then I'm kind of like, well, wait a minute, this guy's almost at that level. You know,
Oh yeah, and
you
then
know what I'm
and
saying?
then you're happy to go out with him. You're happy for him to
Yeah,
be around, man. Yeah, dude, you want to pay. Like you should
yeah,
want to pay. Like I would want to pay the guy. If someone was like, "Oh, I'll do it for free." I'm like, "Why?" Like, what are you talking about? Like, I want to pay you, man. Like, and So yeah, dude, I know a guy actually that I met out, and he doesn't
Yeah,
really know. Like he doesn't. He knows like vaguely that like learning game and stuff exists, but
yeah,
he's just like he understands all the principles and stuff, and it's been I probably hung out with him just a couple of times for brief periods most of the time, and
yeah.
just like the level of like just like the nuances that he of his behaviors and stuff, like man, just standing beside him for like 20 minutes, and like I'm in such the junior position, and it's like everything he does I'm like 2 steps behind, in some
Oh
cases
yeah.
like 3 steps behind, and I'm just like, it's hard for me. I don't even say a lot because I'm just like, man, like, and then I'm like, dude, and then I'll ask him after. I'll be like, bro, and this, and he'd be like, yeah, and it was this, and it was that, and I'll be like, God, okay, man, I see where you're going with that stuff that I don't see and I wouldn't think of. He's already like putting into place, and it's like, whoa, man, this is impressive, and he's extremely reluctant to just like randomly hang out with me, like
Yeah.
until I kind of like proved to him that I was kind of like could be like a like really good like respectful student, and like was bringing something to the table and not just leeching. So now he a little bit has been like, okay, dude, you're pretty cool, like you're onto something. And so yeah, that's just been my experience as a little
Yeah.
lesson to people. Yeah.
Yeah. I've had those experiences as well, and like, this, although these guys are really naturals, they're not coaches.
That's right.
Like, yeah, but what you find with those guys is, like, they do things in a different way from what I've done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I like that
Yeah.
because, like,
Yeah. Me
I've
too.
had to always I've had to always analyze things,
Yeah.
write things down, break things down. These
Yeah.
guys don't do that,
No, they
but
don't.
they still execute.
Yeah,
They
they
still
do.
execute.
Big time. And they're actually really not that good coaches. Like they're really not very great teachers because they themselves
No,
don't really even understand what they're doing. So they really have a
no,
hard time describing it or explaining it. So I would actually recommend get someone like Ritchie or I, or someone who can teach you. But if you have an opportunity to spend time around these guys, do it, man, because you get to see it from another side, and it's like, yeah, it's super cool, man.
yeah, and I mean, make no mistake, I would rather my son went that way
Oh
the way
yeah,
I did.
oh yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah.
because like, what? Why put it like I've really enjoyed having all this hard work and putting in the hustle, but I'm saying you don't need to,
No,
or you shouldn't need
you
to.
shouldn't
You
have
shouldn't
to.
need to.
It's really
Yeah,
just unlearning lies. It's just you're just
yeah,
unlearning nonsense, and you're just like, oh, that was just all stupid. You're just like
yeah,
relearning how to behave normally. That's all you're doing. You're just relearning
yeah,
how you were naturally. And these guys that we're talking about, they just persisted with their natural behavior from the beginning, and they didn't
yeah,
get, not to say they didn't encounter difficulties, but they didn't get derailed the way that we did. They didn't have to put in this sustained effort to relearn proper behavior. And you really can gain some serious insight by watching them, and just how they behave and the stuff they do, and then asking them about it, and hearing like their like justifications for stuff, or their like reasoning behind things. You're just like, whoa, dude, like, okay, like it's cool, man.
yeah. Because like, some of the things that those guys just do, like just going out and just having fun,
Hmm.
I've never done. And like, if I didn't do it the way that I've done it, I wouldn't be anywhere close to those guys.
No. Oh no.
Like, because there's some guys that are kind of natural level that are around my level, and then there's other naturals that are way above, right? So I'm saying, but like, I would say I'm starting to transition into that natural stage now.
Yeah, yeah,
That
me too.
everything just kind of flows, and it's nothing scripted anymore.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't have to. I don't have to think.
yeah, me
Like,
too.
I just kind of come in and just kind of flows. So
Yeah,
that's where you want to be, but
totally.
that's with years of effort and
Yeah.
like going out lots.
Oh
So I'm
yeah.
saying those guys were just guys that went out on the weekends or
I
maybe
know.
went out once a week
I
or
know.
like. But they executed when they did go out. Whereas that wasn't. If I just went out once a week, I wouldn't be in the position I'm in the
No,
position
me
now.
either. No,
Yeah.
no. And again, it just shows you, man. Like get yourself a mentor, man. And I know, yeah, it's totally true. And I think we've both been in a position where we've hung out with guys a little bit, or we've had guys come out and like they won't invest. You know what I mean? They won't invest. They won't take it
Yeah.
seriously. They won't put the time in. They won't open their wallets up. And it's not about the money. It's just you showing your
No.
commitment. It's just you showing that you're investing. And it's like these guys won't invest. It's like, bro, you don't even care about your own fucking future. You don't even care about your own success, but you want me to. It's like you won't even put in the
Yeah.
fucking work. You won't put in the time. You won't take the money out. It's like, bro, I'll give you the fucking money back. Give me $1,000 right now, and at the end of a couple weeks, if you fucking stick with it, I'll give you the money back. How about that?
Yeah.
It's like, but they won't, right? They won't. It's hilarious.
No, because like most guys think they're not as bad as they are.
Oh, I know.
That's the
It's
truth.
fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah. I mean, like
Dude, you're in a low.
that's why you need a coach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like, dude, I remember I had a guy at once. I was like, bro, what level of value do you think you just brought that interaction? He said, oh, like probably like a 5 or a 6. I'm like, dude, it was a 1.
Yeah.
Dude, it was a 1 at best. It was a 1
Yeah.
at best, bro. It was barely a 1. You think I was like,
Yeah.
bro, I brought like a 5, bro. I
Yeah.
was like, bro, I brought a 5, and I've been at this for years. It's like you brought fucking Dan Bilzerian brought a 9.5, and even a few days he brought an 8.5. So nah, he's always bringing a 9, that guy. But yeah, yeah, dude, guys are bananas. Guys are so, oh, dude, don't get us started on the guys' fantasies that they live in.
Oh yeah. Like, I mean, a lot, and it just gets as we spoke about before. It just gets harder. Like, I mean, once you get into the 30s, if you've not got this down, it just gets a lot harder. Like, see the guys that are the 2 or 3s in their 30s. There's very few guys that will come out of that. They're just so caught. Like, see a young 21-year-old that's a 2 or 3. You've got time in your hands.
Yeah.
You can say, do you know what? The last couple of years they haven't went my way. I'm going to start now. Boom. Like even younger, better. But I'm saying the older it starts going, then the harder it gets to change your ways.
Absolutely. It's just like your health, man. It's like if you let your health go and you get fat and out of shape and you get into your 30s or 40s, bro, dude, you are going to need to do some massive course correction. And sometimes you do irreparable damage to your organs and your heart and all this stuff. And it's like, dude, man, get on board, guys. Like, get on board. I don't think Ritchie and I are just not even screwing around anymore. It's like, so if people watch these videos, man, I see there's a few watches on there. Like, I think by now, like, someone needs to reach out. Like, you guys, I don't know what you guys are doing, but, like, get someone to help you, man. Like, it's just so necessary. And I, again, back to these guys who come out and won't invest, like, I don't even want them around me. I know a guy particularly I hung out with a couple times recently. He opened me up because he could see that there was something happening. And it's like, I see some like egregious errors in his game. Like egregious, bro. And he barely sees them. He's like, oh yeah, that's true. I should. And it's like, dude, these are the guys who are always so reluctant to like, they know a little tiny bit and they're so reluctant to like invest to really get the lessons and to build the value. It's like they know such a little bit, and then they're like, "Oh, I get it. It's like, dude, you don't. You're at a 1, bro, and that's great. You're at a 1. It's better than 0. It's like, don't you want to get up to a 5, and a 6, and a 7, and an 8, and a 9? Like, pay, bro. Anyway, whatever. Let's move on. We've killed that.
Yeah, I mean, see the conversation that we're having. A lot of guys have these conversations when they're actually out at the nightclub. You know, like they do it back to front. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Oh yeah, like, so many times
we're having this conversation on a Monday in our homes, relaxed. But I'm saying, Like, we wouldn't be doing it if we're out.
No,
Yeah,
dude, we're out. We're having a good time, man. It's on,
that's what I'm
dude.
saying.
Oh man, it's on.
Yeah.
I've had these conversations loads of times with guys, like got them in the corner of the nightclub and been like, bro, get your fucking shit together. Like, what are you doing with your life, man? Oh, you gotta invest, bro. Like, you gotta invest into this. It's like trying to convince them in the middle of it all to actually take some. It's chaos, man. Come on, we ain't about that, man. We're moving on, bro. We're moving on.
Yeah.
We're moving on. We're past it, man. We're moving on. Like, we're into other stuff now. Like, guys, it's been years now. Like, we're already gone. Like, we're moving on to something else now. Like, come on. Like, it ain't. Find someone else to do it. Like, if you.
That's it, man. I'm just going to get my charger.
Yeah,
So
and we got about 20 minutes left, and then we'll wrap up. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can keep going. I'm just going to get my charger.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, man. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Oh yeah. Okay. So here we are. Let me turn this fan off. All right. Yeah. I had a text to send anyway, so it's all good. Oh man. All right. So yeah, we'll move. We got it. We'll move on to another topic here. I think, guys.
That's me.
Yeah. We'll move on to the next topic here.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go. This is actually a little bit related. So I'm not sure if we covered this or not, but if there's anything to add, we'll say it. So the value of other guys. We went over that a little bit, but do you have anything to add to that? The value of other guys in your life, like maybe in a positive way, or.
Yeah. So like, I would say it's more important the value of the guys in a negative light that you don't go out with.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Because it's hard to find positive guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
So positive's the ideal. Guys that are neutral, if they're neutral and they're sort of around your level, then that's okay. I wouldn't say don't go out with them, just kind of, but be careful with the neutral guys. So they're sort of a kind of like, so let's go with the traffic lights. But over here we have like red, amber, green. So that's the same over there. Yeah. So like, green's the positive guys, amber's the sort of in the middle, and the red's the guys you don't want to hang about with at all. So the amber's the important one because the red and the green's quite obvious. But the amber guys, what you find is some of the guys are neutral, but then they start bringing other guys out that are negative. So you've got to be careful.
It's too close to red, bro. Amber's too close to red, I think, because if a guy's not tight and he doesn't have intention and he's not like actively going for green lights, it just ends up devolving. Like, it's always falling apart. If you're not building it up and with intention, it's just going to get ruined and fall apart. And like, again, man, people just respond to this narrow window. It's like you need two guys who are in sync and we're tight and we're running it properly. That's what's going to create the success, man. That's what the girls love. And then it's on and they love it. When one of the guys is weak and he's missing steps, it can blow the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
And again, back to why you don't want just random guys hanging out with you that aren't paying or anything. Because they don't understand how, dude, you're ruining everything and you don't even see it.
Yeah. So the big thing for me there, and you were like this as well, the big thing for me is if the guys aren't positive enough, just go out alone.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Because actually going out alone's better, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's better if you've not got the positive guys. So if you've got a top coach, if you're paying for a coach, or you've got guys that are way above your level, that's amazing. That's the ideal, right? But it's just not practical because maybe you don't have money, or you don't have enough money to get coaching all the time, or maybe you're going to struggle to get around those guys, the positive guys, right? So just going out alone. The good thing about going out alone is you will still struggle, but at least it's your own struggle. At least you're not carrying someone else's struggle. Because if you're a 3 or a 4, right, but you've got a mindset of growth, but you go out with a 3 or a 4 who's not got the growth mindset, they're sort of just half in it, half out, that guy's just going to bring you down.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You know what?
So it's a hard thing.
It is, man. But you know what is like the most like amazing thing, man, in the world? Like, it's like, dude, a guy who's a 3, if he truly puts in work, man, and effort, you know what, man? The truth is, if he really does that with intention and fucking heart and puts himself into that, bro, I promise that dude in 6 months will be a 4, bro. And like
Yeah.
somebody, people will look at that and think it's depressing and like it's not right to call him a 4, and you're still only a 4, bro. That's stupid. No hot girls want a 4. But bro, he improved, and in another 6 months, he's gonna be a 5, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And in a year, he'll be a 6. That's 2 years of your life, man. But you stepped up, bro. Your points increased, man. Now you're a 6. In another year, you'll be a 7. In another year, maybe a 7.5. It's like at least you moved up, man. And it's like
Oh yeah.
that's how we did it. Like it's not easy.
It's not easy because there's so many factors that you don't realise that go
Mm-hmm.
into it. I mean, there's a lot of guys that seen your growth from the outside. I'm talking about guys that weren't even in this. Just maybe people like you played in the same football team with, people you worked with, or people you went to, like, I'm just using examples here, people you went to, like, I'm saying, they notice, wow, that guy's changed. But I've not.
Oh.
But a lot of those guys don't like that, right?
Yeah.
But I can handle that okay. But I'm saying some guys aren't able to handle other, like, so I'm saying you've got to, that's something that, like, so here's my answer for that. It's just simple. Like, you just don't give a fuck. Yeah. Because
haters
that should happen, because sometimes it motivates those guys. Sometimes those guys think, God, I've got to start getting on with my life. But the normal case, those guys don't like the fact that you're getting on with your life.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Sometimes there is jealousy.
Yeah, they don't like it. And dude, man, they don't call it like the journey for nothing, man. Like it's a journey, bro, and it's real. It's a real journey, man. I can remember when I was a little kid and I read The Hobbit, bro. It was like, you know what, man, I loved about that book was the fact that it was a journey, man. And it was real, bro. It was real. It was like they really were out there, man. There was danger. There was struggles, man. There was things to overcome. And it's like so many people, man, especially young guys, bro. Young men in our society, whatever you want to say about it, has become awful soft. And we don't, man, it's like we don't go on a journey, bro, and that destroys a man's fucking soul, man. Not going on, not taking this journey, bro. You're robbing yourself of what it means to be a fucking young man on the earth, bro. You've got to take this journey, and in our 21st century society, for whatever crazy reason, it's one way to do it, man, is to learn about women, man. Because we've forgotten, as a fucking species, man, we've forgotten what it is. And it's so important to our life, man, to engage with women. It's like the most important thing, in a way, is like for a man is like women. And in a way, like it's not because it's like your purpose, but it's important. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, dude, it's that, like, take the journey and you'll learn shit, man. And like, it's like gives you something to like actually like be proud of, man, which so many guys don't have that. They're proud of their fucking Call of Duty record or their fucking retarded like university degrees or some worthless shit. Like, dude, it's cool, man.
Yeah. I mean, I know, like, I never went to university, but if I did go to university, I know the social life would be the most important for me. Yeah. Like, no, that's just off topic. Yeah, but like you're saying, like Call of Duty, video games and stuff like that. Like, yeah, you've got to cut out those bad habits. Like, because there's nothing wrong with these things, but like too many guys just play them for hours and hours a day. And like, why are you playing it for hours and hours a day? Like, what is the reason for that? It's probably because you don't have enough going on. Yeah, that's the truth. Yeah, like, probably you don't have enough going on, and probably the woman is a big aspect that you don't have enough women in your life because, like, what do those things do? they sort of mask your problems.
Mm.
Like, so they don't address your problem. They just
Mhm.
mask it
Mhm.
because on Call of Duty, like Gears of War, all those games, like you get this achievement. Oh, you've won an achievement. Now
Oh
it's
yeah.
the next achievement. Now it's the next one. So you're always hitting those buttons. You're always trying to achieve the higher level goal. But what is it actually achieving at the end of the day? You've won a badge, great, but is it actually achieving a progression in your life? Now, maybe, maybe for the odd guy it is, right? Maybe some guy is just a bit of a freak that just gets an absolute blast out playing Call of Duty, and he lives such a fulfilling life that when he leaves the Call of Duty after 6 hours, he walks out and he speaks to everyone. He's like that's 0.1%,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Like
That ain't
that
many.
that guy would have to maybe have a low IQ and just but then if he had a low IQ, people would be playing video games. So yeah, so
It ain't
I mean
healthy, man, and we all know it. Like,
no,
so, dude. Anyway, so guys, man, yeah, you want to be able to get around other. You want to increase your value so that you can be around other cool guys, and that they want to be
yeah,
around you, man. And yeah, those amber lights, bro, just turn into reds, bro.
yeah, unfortunately, yeah,
All right, maybe one more topic. We're almost done here.
yeah, sure.
Um, okay, here's a good one. What do you consider like having a productive time with women? Like what for you is like a productive time, a productive use of your time like with them? What does that look like?
So productive for me would be going out with someone that I actually get something from,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's productive. So what I mean by that is they're probably going to be a bit older, not older than me, just
No, no.
older than the average girl. So like
Yeah.
maybe it's like 25 or above,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like they've got a bit of depth to them.
Yeah.
They have viewpoints, but they're not like overkill.
They're not like
They're not.
hysterical. They're not they're not
Yeah,
they're not weaponized. Yeah.
yeah. They're not one of these feminists that's going
Oh yeah.
out and doing all the protests,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. I hear you.
Yeah. So they have a bit of depth. They can hold a good conversation, and they actually have a lot going on.
Mm.
Like, and that's not just with all the basics because I'm like working all that. That's going to come up, right? But I'm talking about things that are even deeper than that, um, like the things that they stand for, the things that they actually do.
Mm.
Like, oh, like I'm learning to play the guitar. That's what the girl says. I'm kind of
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, cool. How long have you been learning for? Well, I've been learning for 6 months, but I hired this instructor, so I play 4 times a week myself. But then I go to this instructor food, like so
Mm.
stuff like that. So like you think, right, that's cool. Like, and
Mm.
then I'll say, well, I played the guitar for this length of time, stuff like that.
Mm.
So like just things like that. I also like someone that's interested in what you're doing with your life
Mm.
because a lot aren't that interested.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
and that's a lot of guys don't like to admit that, but a lot of girls like that. That's what I'm saying when it comes back to the debt. A lot of girls just kind of like they want to talk about the boring shit,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
But I'm not into the boring shit. Like I'm talking about, they just want to talk about TV shows. They want to talk
Yeah.
about this. They want to talk about that. That's fine a little bit, but I'm talking about let's get to the real stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, okay.
What about you?
Yeah, like some of it's similar. Like I like getting together and like yeah, I like things to be like if possible like healthy. Like I those are the
Yeah.
ones that I enjoy the most. Not to say I mean I don't want to be hanging out with some like toxic leeches at all, but uh, I still enjoy hanging out with the girls. Like I said, when I'm just the cool guy machine, where I'm just like automatic
Yeah.
cool guy, where it's just like, oh, this is fun. Let's go here. Let's go there. Da da da. You're hot. It's fun. I still like that. But I really get the most out of and feel the most like satisfied when I can like get together with a girl who really like wants to just talk seriously about like, hey, like what kind of person are you? Like what are you interested in? Like and I like to see, I think I said this before too, of like what type of like overlap do we have? Like what
Yeah.
what what would make sense between us? Like, oh, it looks like, and I like discovering that. I like discovering that. Like, oh, it makes sense that we spend like some time together and hang out, and like this is cool. And then it's like maybe eventually we realize like, oh, it actually only makes sense for that, and it's like not quite going to work out to do anything else together. It's like, okay, that's cool. Like, I like the discovery process of that for me, and doing it in such a way that like is like a healthy learning opportunity, and like a healthy references are involved, and no one gets like screwed over. And I love it when the girls like actually just totally enjoy the whole process and don't try to bring in like weird games and like flaky shit and trying to like undermine me. It's like if they don't do that, I feel like that's like a win for me. It's like great, we were able to just engage like two fucking like coherent human beings as like almost like you and
Yeah,
I are engaging. Like, oh, we're just friends, we're bros, we're doing something cool together. But she's a girl, but yet we're still doing it productively, and no one's getting fucking hurt. It's just like we're playing together. That's the kind of shit I like.
yeah. I can see some of those points in myself there with the interactions I've had. And then you brought up sort of like when you're the cool guy, like you're just yeah. What I've noticed with that is that's a lot more productive for me now.
Oh,
Like in a way, but and it sounds kind of like the opposite of what I'm saying, but I'll explain. Like it's not productive for me to do it all the time.
uh-huh.
But what I notice is when I do go out with these kind of girls, it's just like a kind of one-off thing. I find I play that role better now, in the
Okay.
sense of like they don't have any desire for anything more the same way that I don't.
Yeah.
So it kind of works better.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. No, it is that's a good point. It is very
yeah,
satisfying to deliver the automatic cool guy in a very well delivered package. It's very
yeah,
satisfying to do that, man. It is. It's like you get the girl out and she like really enjoys just automatic cool guy vibes. She's just like, oh
yeah,
great, automatic cool guy, and she just loves it. And she's like, that's right what I wanted. Okay, see ya, and she just leaves. And you're just like, there is like a certain satisfaction to that where you're just like, all right, automatic cool guy, fucking operated properly, and you can do it for a while. But just like endlessly doing that, it starts to like you need a break. I think of it. Like you, it's
oh,
difficult to just keep that up like endlessly. You need a break, or you need to get some of the more engaging relationships, and then you can still carry that on. That's what I see.
oh yeah, because like a lot of these girls have got high energy because they're younger,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
But what you find is, like, I've still physically got a lot of energy, but see, mentally, like,
Yeah.
after a few hours, like,
Oh
you're
yeah, they
drained.
were. Oh yeah, I got
Yeah,
like. Oh yeah, 2 hours fucking max a lot of the time for me, dude. There's been times it's like 45 minutes, like an hour. Like I'm kind of finished. Like it's 90 minutes a lot of the times. Like dude, I not that I couldn't keep it up. Like I could. I could probably keep that up for like 4 or 5, 6 hours if I had to.
yeah,
Maybe get a snack in there. Probably if I had to, but like
yeah,
I kind of feel like 60 minutes, 90 minutes, man, even 2 hours. Like that's just a nice package. That's just a nice delivery, and that makes me satisfied. That's kind of what I feel.
yeah. I'm the same because physically, I could like hours. I could spend hours with you, but
Yeah,
like it's more mentally. It's
yeah,
because I'm doing a lot of the talking,
yeah, yeah,
but like I'm using up a lot of energy in
yeah.
that
Oh
sense,
yeah,
and like they've got more to learn from me than I do from
yeah.
them.
Oh, big time.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And the
yeah.
and the thing is, like, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, but I was just going to say some of these girls are toxic, right?
Yeah.
Like, which is strange, but I don't get the toxic side from them
You know,
because I'm
yeah.
only spending limited time.
Yeah, that's totally true, man. That's totally true. Like
Yeah,
you do, and that's what happens is like in like 90 minutes, you can start to see some of the toxicity in there, but you know
yeah,
that your time's limited. So you're just like, oh, I see
yeah,
what you got going on in there. Like I wouldn't want to get too close to that, but like, all right, this was fun, and so you kind of protect yourself from it, but it is still like a draw. So that like toxicity, it kind of still draws your energy out a little bit. And you're like, okay, 60 minutes, 70, 90 minutes. All right, I'm good. You got to go, right? Because like
yeah,
also the thing is like I've noticed this for a lot of them. It's like, man, they just do not appreciate it, bro. Like at all. Like I've noticed that, man, so many times. Like I'll just deliver these girls like just fucking unloading value on them, and it's like they just like don't appreciate it, like just fucking at all. Like they just use it up. They're just like just give it to me.
Yeah.
The value. That's just all it is. It's just fucking validation. Like they're just fucking mainlining this validation. They just like give me more, and then like as soon as after like 90 minutes, you're just like, all right, we're done here. And then they just go right from that to like Instagram, like fucking getting likes or whatever it is they do, or they. So sometimes that narrative, it's like for like a man, it's kind of like I don't want to. I need to limit myself on that. I don't want to be around that too much, right?
Oh yeah, because I hate the whole follower thing on Instagram. If you know what I mean? Like, oh, I've got such and such followers. Because some of them tell you how many. Some of them actually tell you how many followers they've got. But I'm talking about to say I've got 6,102 followers, and I'm like, cool. Yeah, let's move on from that.
It's just them
Yeah.
getting high. I see it as like the new cocaine. It's just like they just get high as fuck on this stuff, and it's just like then they want that from me too. They want to get high as fucking. Anyway, we're just
Yeah.
talking some shit here. Like we love them. Like these are just little nuanced points we got here. They're still.
No,
They're,
I understand. I understand
yeah.
because like see the age that they're at, I totally get why they're like that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
like the ones that aren't like that at that age that are like, above that, like I'm like, wow, that's impressive.
Oh yeah.
But I don't expect it.
No, no, no. Yeah, we're not hating on them at all. We still love them. They're still funny.
No.
They're fucking hilarious. Like the 90 minutes is still fucking hilarious and awesome and so
Yeah.
funny. And you're still like, oh my god, this is awesome. Like, but we need a break afterwards. Like, I need a break. I need to go home and watch a fucking history documentary or something. Like, I need a,
Oh yeah,
dude.
That's what always happens.
Oh, I go home and walk in the park, or I'll read a history fucking novel or something. Like I need a break. Like, but like yeah, who can blame them? Who can blame them? They've got it's like they got all that at their disposal. Of course, they're addicted to Snapchat. Anyway, all right, and we'll wrap up here because I know you got to get going. So
we should do one soon again, though.
yeah, let's do it because we only did about a half one. We tried to set up here one last week or whenever that was, didn't quite work out, but yeah, let's try to do part two, even like maybe next week or something, because I think we still have more that we need to cover here.
Yeah, next week sounds good. I'll just give you a message over the weekend.
Yeah.
We can sort a day out for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe we could run for another hour and a half.
Yeah. So we'll call this part one, and we'll do part two maybe next week.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, that was fun.
Oh yeah, that was good, man.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
So keep enjoying going out.
Oh yeah.
So you can just now. I'm the same. Like I'll probably back out. I might be out at a bar this weekend again.
Yeah, I think I'll probably go out this weekend. I just heard I got set up for a date tonight, so I'll go see how that goes. And yeah, I'm sure I'll get out again as long as the weather's nice, man. I'm gonna keep going out, just even for a couple hours, man. Just even an hour or two, just for a laugh, like just for something to do. It's better than being home.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, the weather's been good over here.
Oh yeah,
it's been like 20 degrees most days.
Oh yeah, it's been hot, nice and hot over here, so it's all good, man.
Yeah. Okay, man. I'll send you a message over the weekend.
Sounds good, bro.
Have a good one.
See you, man.
See you.
See ya.